Hi aerial yogis, I'm Camille and welcome back to my CAMIYOGA aerial yoga channel. In today's tutorial, we will learn star shape pose together into the little sequence combined with the other poses, which is kind of a bat shape backbend, and the dancer or split. Depends on your flexibility and how your body is available for today. So just a few poses, very fun. At first it might look a little bit complicated, but actually it's not as so. It's quite easy to enter this pose. So before that, I just wanted to announce my news. I just released my new course, which is Yin Aerial Yoga course with a low hammock. So if you will want to deepen your knowledge or learn more new poses and go deeper into the stretches, increasing your flexibility, mobility, and inner self. So that's of course perhaps for you. Or I also have level 1 and level 2, and next year I will release level 3. So just keep an eye on that. All of this you can find on my website here down below if you're interested. Also all the silk sets and hammocks also in there. But now let's come back to our theme of today, which will be stars everywhere. So hopefully, and you will learn that too. So first of all, as always, let's check how it looks. Actually, that's the shape, the little sequence that you would get on the road, just get easier for you to start, okay? So let's see how it looks. Oh, and one more thing, before practicing this tutorial, this shape, do a warm-up. Don't go jump instantly into the shape that you want overstretch, since it's combined together with a backbend and splitty shape. So you need to be warmed up that you won't overstrain or overstretch or inflict any injury on your body, okay? So just be prepared for this. So now you know how it looks like. Let's begin. The beginning of the star entry is actually very similar to the flip into the cocoon or shavasana. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can check the video here above my head. But you know when we put the silk and we just flip in, to the silk, it's quite similar, just we're using not one edge of the silk, but both edges. And other than that, it's actually the same. So just stand on your side of the silk, not in the front of a loop, but just by one of the sides, okay? And spread it out to find one edge and the other edge of both sides, okay? So once you find the edges, slide down, and now we need to put one edge on one shoulder, the other edge on the other. So we're bringing those shoulders inside the silk. So that's quite similar to that flip that I just showed you before. Okay, so once you find it, stand towards the silk, fold forward slightly in 90-degree angle, and then bend closer towards the silk and bend your elbows to bring the closer the edges. Now what you need to do is hook shoulder and elbow inside the silk, okay? So you're wrapping in, and the same on the other side. So now I will turn towards facing you, because as you saw, actually the flow is going more that I'm away from you starting, right? But first of all, for this, I will turn facing you just that it would be more clear for you, okay? So one more time, I'm finding my edges, just going through, you could see me, okay? So I'm holding my edges, one side and the other side. Now I'm just turning my shoulder in and elbow in. One side, still holding the edge here with my hand, and the other one. So just hooking in. You see, I'm just having my like wings, making wings, creating wings using my hands and the silk. That's what you need. Still hold the edges. Once you got it, then you jump up. If you're not sure yet if it's safe or not safe, then start with just slide jumps. Okay, the same with it we did with the flip. Sorry. And of course, if you still quite new with the flips, by all means you can put a mattress under you, not only the mat, or some pillows, just in case with, you know, worst case scenario. Just make yourself as safe as possible. But of course, just follow my instructions and then you should be all good. So once you with the shoulders in, elbows in, and then you holding the edges and sliding your hands up along the edges. So don't release the edges yet, because you might slip, because the weight is not yet fully in the silk. But once we up and upside down in inverted position, that star shape, the actual weight is holding us into the silk. So keep that in mind. So just one more time, if you're struggling, okay, just make it, or if you already got it, just practice more, that it would be faster. So just holding the opposite edges, leaning forward, just going through that, you would see my head. And while you're holding the edges, I'm putting one shoulder and elbow in, the other one. Yeah. Then I'm extending my arms upwards. Just keep holding the edges, okay? But extend your arms and keep your weight down. You should feel how the silk is hugging your shoulders. Once you are here, start jumping up. Jumping with each time, catching yourself in momentum, maybe for a longer time. And once you are in there, just put your legs inside the silk and spread it to the side. Extend your arms to the sides. If you're comfortable, just fully pressing into the silk. Okay, so just one more time, this part coming out of the silk. Okay, now I will face away from you as you would do originally would do this position. So from the side, finding the edges, leaning forward, bringing let me tangle. Yeah, so elbows, shoulders in, just along your neck, extending the arms, holding the edges, and then jumping, catching yourself, feet in, inside the silk, extend them to the sides, pressing against the silk, and same with your arms if you're already feeling that you're comfortable in position. Yeah, and this is your star shape. I'm a little bit now here diagonally, so you might not see my shape, but probably here. So this is your star shape. Now, if you nailed it, if not, don't worry, just pause the video and keep working on this part, okay? But if you're already in this shape, then we continue to add that kind of backbend, okay? So for first, let's hold back the edges. See, just find the edges back for the safety. Eventually you won't need to hold it. Then one of the legs coming out, and then we wrapping with the feet around that edge. And the same with the other leg, okay? Just mine mixed up, but since I'm a little bit turning towards you. Okay, so once you wrap in, just hooking here, you will feel the edge. Then, when your feet in, you're sliding down, releasing your pelvis to the floor, lifting your head to arch. Then, you're releasing your arms to the sides to create the wings, which looks like bat shape, right? So that's the second shape. And then we're combining with the third shape, which is the dancer or split, taking one of the legs out to the floor. So if your leg doesn't reach the floor yet, what you need to do is bend the top leg down, then you should release the bottom floor to the floor. Maybe if your legs open and you already stretch out, perhaps both legs can be extended. So it's two options, dancer or split. Okay, and then playing around in here, either turning around, maybe just twisting from side to side, lateral stretches, lifting your head, maybe collapsing your both hands together, and then eventually releasing out of the shape. So 3 poses, right? But the main one is the star shape. Okay, so of course we will One more time, do the other side. If you did one leg, so we're releasing the other leg. And don't worry if you get mixed up with some of the parts, okay? So let's try again. Finding the edges, just my silk mixed up a little bit. Okay, so one tip, when I do it quickly, because now I'm explaining it slowly, step by step, right? Once you get it, but not to mix around, faster is just to take the edges from inside and you're instantly putting your elbows and shoulders in, right? So it's way faster when you're holding the edge from inside, not out, not like this, but from inside. That's way faster. So we're putting back shoulders. Just make sure that the silk edges are next to your neck. Elbows, shoulders, extending your arms, yeah? Jumping up and feet in. Okay, and arms to the sides, star shape. Yeah. So when you're in a star shape, let's continue with that back bend. So now you can try to keep on extending your arms, but one of the legs coming through the gap and wrapping through the edge. And safe on the other side, wrapping around both edges. Yeah. And then releasing your pelvis slowly down, lifting your head into this deep back bend. Releasing the opposite side than before of the leg. Remember, if you can't reach the floor, you can always bend the upper leg. If it's okay, you can keep extending them. And then you're entering this dancer or split variation. And then just maybe playing around with the lateral stretches to the side, swinging around, and eventually release them. Okay, so it's quite hard when you're doing it slowly. It's way easier, as always, to do it faster motion. So just one more time, we will do it together. This time in that connected sequence without not that many pauses, okay? And this time I will be facing this way, okay? That you would see both sides. If it's still, you were stumbling on some parts of this little sequence, so that you would have all the corners and you would see maybe something you missed, and you will see all the details, okay? So one more time, this time we'll be facing like this, and let's do both sides through this small sequence, but fun, and let's be stars. Okay, so leaning forward, hooking your shoulders, extending your arms, jumping up, feet in, arms out, into star shape, right? Okay, then either holding the edges or not, wrapping your feet from the gap around the edge, releasing your pelvis, head up, and then let go one of the legs down. If you need, bend the upper leg into the dancer, split variation. Maybe lateral stretches from side to side, maybe interlacing your fingers, and we letting go the other leg. And the last time on the other side. Spread the silk. Remember, edges from inside, which is way faster to hook shoulders, elbows in, extending your arms, jumping, star shape. La la. Okay, legs out through the gap, wrapping around the edge, the front edge, releasing your pelvis, back bend. And then the other leg out, split or dancer, maybe lateral stretching from side to side, and maybe interlacing your fingers together and releasing out. And there you go. So this was star shape little sequence together with a back bend and dancer or split. So let me know how it went, all down in the comments. I'm very interested. Was it easy, or where you had some struggles in somewhere? Just let me know. And other than that, if you like my classes, sequences, tutorials, follow me, subscribe the channel, like, or you know what to do. And all of this information is down in the description if you missed something about my courses or silks and so on and so forth. And there you go. Have a nice day. Happy flying, and I'll see you soon.